Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Mentor Monday. Mentor Monday is your weekly microdose of encouragement, inspiration, and miracle grow on your potential as a coach. And so, what we always love to do is you guys are making it into the room to say hello to everyone. So, let me do that really quickly. Hello to Santos, who's joining us from Stockton, Marie, who's joining us from Washington, Rochelle. Hello, Rochelle. If you would, just go ahead and do us a huge favor. One of the things about, if you want the hack on any kind of social media algorithm, it's all about really doing things that serve people, that help them. And so if today is helpful for us, just a huge favor, like, share this, comment, all of that tells Facebook that we're doing a good job. And Tricia saying hello. So if you would, and there's Tracy. Hello, Tracy. And Tricia is from Toronto. Welcome. So as you're coming into the room, make sure that you say hello to us. If you've got any questions today, any comments, we love to interact with you. So we're going to give everybody just a couple of seconds to finish getting in. Again, do us a huge favor and say and like and share. There's another one. Hello, Tracy's joining us from Virginia. Shanice is joining us from New York. Vicky is joining us from South Carolina. Keith is in from New Jersey. Welcome. Let's see, where are you from? From LA. Very good. Awesome. Lafayette, Louisiana. Now, if you didn't know this, a lot of people know this about me by now, but a lot of people don't. Louisiana is actually home for us. So both mine and my wife's roots are in the New Orleans area. And so we actually lived there all the way up to Hurricane Katrina. So Louisiana is always going to be in our hearts. So welcome. Rochelle's actually joining us from the Bahamas. Very cool. So what are we talking about today? What we're talking about today is that September is actually the #1 month for your coaching practice. Now, a lot of people don't know this. It might be a little bit counterintuitive for many of you, but here's the problem that most coaches are living in right now. And I don't know if you're one of those coaches. Letitia is actually joining us from Texas. Welcome. Here's the problem for a lot of coaches. Kim's joining us from Ohio. The big problem for most coaches is that they are not thermostats, they are thermometers. And what do I mean by that? Thermometers, if you take a thermometer, whether you're putting it in your meat in the microwave or any kind of normal thermometer that we use, you put it in your mouth. What a thermostat does is that it feels the environment that is around it, and it shows the temperature of whatever the environment around it is, whether it's cold or whether it's hot or whatever it is. The environment determines what the thermometer does, determines the number that's on the scale. And most coaches, unfortunately, go into hibernation mode during summertime, and they do it big time during July. Some of you have no momentum right now. We're at the very beginning of August. We're actually 1 week into August. Many of you who are hearing my voice right now, you have no momentum coming out of July. And it's because you were a thermometer during July. You were watching what everybody else was doing, which a lot of people, I understand that. People in July go on vacation. They take a break. They take it easy during that time. Problem is that we're supposed to be thermostats. And what do I mean by thermostat? I mean that thermostats set the environment. They set the culture around them. Now, it does not mean that we are not taking cues from what people are doing in terms of how we put our messaging together, but it does mean that we've still got to drive the message towards what we want. Let me help you understand what businesses have understood for a really long time, and it's something that coaches have really got to grasp, because September's around the corner. Listen, we are less than 3 weeks away from September. It is the best month, and this is something that you should know as you are successful in your business and you're running your business for a while. You should know the seasons of growth, and you should know the seasons on your business, even in the environment that you live in geographically and everything else. Because what happens is that there's actually seasons throughout the year by which you run your business. And you can never go to sleep and be dictated by what everybody else is doing. Well, it's July and everybody's on vacation and no one's really interested in coaching, so I'm just going to coast through July. Here's a big problem with that, is that everything that we do is really on a 90-day cycle. And here's what I mean by that. I mean that what you do when you have your messaging, whenever you're trying to drive at something, 90 days out, we're planting a seed, right? So here's a seed, and it's going into the ground 90 days out. Not the best seed. It actually looks like a fish underwater. But we're planting a seed 90 days out so that by the time that we get to this point over here, is that we've got life that is coming forth at this point 90 days later. See, actually, when September rolls around, you were prepared for September even before July. Really, it's going to be June, July, and August is when you're going to be planting seeds and you're going to be talking about your messaging so that you have a huge September. So we're really supposed to be working about 90 days ahead of any time that we're looking at. September's a huge month. Why is it a huge month? Because people get serious in September. September is when you're thinking about fall, you're thinking about school, you're thinking about structure. Parents are making their kids, hey, here's what we were doing all summer. You're going to start going to bed on time. You're going to start going to bed. And like they instantly, it's like the mind is ready to go into action, to put structure in place and to actually get things done. And so this is where people are mentally, but it's also what's going on in life in general. Businesses are thinking about that. Everybody is in this mode to finish really strong at the end of the year. And fall hits that in so many ways. It really creates what I would say is that fall or September starts routine. It is about getting things done. And it's structure. That's what ends up coming in place. And if you think about it in your life, that's really what happens. Well, what does that mean for a coach who didn't really plan through June for September? It means that you're probably behind the ball right now. It means that if you coast through August, you're going to miss the best month of the year because people are ready. And this is the time when they're ready to get serious, but you didn't make any plan for it. And so what I'm going to do over the next couple of weeks is I'm going to help you think through that so that you don't miss out on really what is going to be one of the most profitable months that's actually going to carry you through the remainder of the year. It's an incredible time to coach people. But let me talk a little bit more about seasons so that you understand and you're not making this mistake in the future. And then again, what I'm going to help you do over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to help you think through what you need to do so that you don't completely miss September. I understand, like you didn't know, you might have gotten lazy. I'm not saying anything judgmental or whatever. I'm saying that most coaches actually did this. It's not just you. It's because they were just following what the culture does. But you have got to dictate the culture that is around you. Be aware of what's going on. Be aware of what people are talking about. Be aware of what people want and how to serve them. But you have got to drive people towards change. You've got to drive people towards what they should be thinking about and how they should be working towards their life. I'm going to show you something about seasons, but I'm going to take just a second just to pay the bills really quick. And I'm going to get that off of there because that should not even be on there. So for those of you who have not, talking about being behind the ball, for those of you who have not knocked out your certification, let me tell you about our school. We're the #1 life coach training program globally. I mean, we are the largest life coach training program in North America. We're the #1 online program. And years ago, when we went fully online, we pioneered an online education. You can get trained and certified online. You can literally get enrolled in about 90 seconds. And in 90 seconds, you can begin to knock out your certification. We don't have start dates and end dates. You can literally get enrolled today. Again, it's a self-paced program. So a lot of coaches knock out their certification within like a week or 2 weeks or something like that. But it's designed for about 30 hours or fewer, and it's designed to work around your schedule. Most of the people who come to our school, about 80% of them are women with families and jobs and all of those other kinds of things that's going on. And they already spent a bunch of plates, but they need to be able to take control of their own training. That's why we designed the program. 10 modules that walks you through the core competencies of coaching, the skills, and it ends with an exam. And when you pass the exam, then you've earned your credential. You have instant access to your certificate, as well as being able to get a free listing on lifecoachmatch.com. But for those of you who enjoy what I do on Mondays, you might be interested in the Jumpstart program. And Jumpstart's our business development program. There's 20 core modules of Jumpstart, and it runs you to the A to Z on how to develop your business. How do you discover your target market? How do you sell? How do you create multiple streams of income? Because what many of you don't know is that there's actually a lot of ways to create income in your life. It's not just simply one-on-one. What we show you is how to build a business so that you can break into wealth. Not a 40-hour-a-week job. That's what we're leaving. What we're trying to do is we're trying to help you scale your business so that you have more time with your family. Like most of the coaches who come through our program are looking for freedom in their life, and they want control over their time. Who wants to go from a 40-hour-a-week job to a 70-hour-a-week job? I know I don't. I work about 25 hours a week, 25 hours a month, and I'm a multi-six-figure coach. I want you to know that you are working with people who have been successful in this, not just training you on coaching skills, but showing you how to be successful in your business, the mindset that it takes, but also the practicality of it. Every week we have a group coaching call where I answer every coaching related question, every business related question. And there's an online community where you can get feedback on anything that you're working on, as well as role play with other coaches. It's only $97 a month. Now, the thing is, $97 a month for some of you. Now, listen, this includes everything, certification. It includes everything. And for those of you who think that that's a lot of money, it's really not. Let me show you what $97 a month is. It's at Starbucks you're drinking. But I don't think that Starbucks you're drinking is actually helping you build a six-figure business. This is $3.25 a day. That's how much $97 a month is. And this past week, it was literally, there was this conversation of somebody saying, this is a destiny thing. I've got to go do this thing, and I feel committed to it, and all this other stuff. Well, ends up that in some of the connections that were made, there was a price tag that was involved with that would have guaranteed them to be able to step into what they wanted to destiny-wise. And this is when the decision-making point comes. Are you going to actually invest in yourself? Listen, we've made it as affordable as we possibly can, that you can actually work with people who have been successful in coaching and learn what you need to learn so that you can become a six-figure coach and have all those things. But we're looking for people who are willing to actually make a commitment, make a decision, burn your bridges, and actually go for this thing. So let's do this. I want to look really quickly if I've just to say hi, and then I'm going to show you a few other things. John from Illinois, welcome, John. Kim saying hi, hello. Kim's actually joining us from Saskatchewan, Canada. Welcome. Rita from Dallas. There's Amina that's here. Desiree's joining us from Texas. Let's see. Brigitte from Atlanta. Let's see. Cookie says, this is all ringing so true for me. I've got launch planned for September because I have that same feeling about fall. It's always been the time of the year for renewal, new beginning. I love it. Exactly. So good that you're on point with it right now. Charisse from Charlotte, Doris from Chicago. Very cool. So let me finish up with this. Let's talk about seasons so that you don't miss this again in the future. And over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to help you strategize for September. Okay. It's the least that I can do to help you if you've kind of made a mistake up to now. When you look at your year, this isn't so good. And that's a brand new marker. When you look at your year, what you're going to find, and granted, many of you haven't had a full year for your business, but we got January, February, March, April, May. I'm going to keep going. June, July, August. What I'm going to try to do is kind of separate this in quarters. September, October, and November. Actually kind of split that up a little bit differently. So if I did a quarter, what most people would say is April, May, June, but I've got all the months out here so that you can think about it. So what is actually the number 2 month of the entire year is right here. Number 2. That's why I don't really want to, the way that I've got things kind of staggered and everything. January is number 2. Why? January, first of the year, people are talking about, you don't really have to sell coaching during that time. Everybody's thinking about what they want in their life, what they want to change, all of those kinds of things. And so it's really a no sell during that time. I guarantee you 2021 is going to be a huge month. You know why? Because 2020 was so bad. 2020 was like, no one wants a repeat of 2020. What can we do about 2020? How can I see? The funny thing is that in the first 6 months of this year, everybody was kind of like tolerating stuff and putting up with stuff for a while. But now things are coming to a head. The dysfunction that they've gotten in their life, the things that they never want to go back to, the change that they really want to take. And right now, people really want to take control. That's why September is going to be stinking amazing this year, because you've had such a frustrating year that now people are like, I got to do whatever I can. Like, there's some people who don't want to wear a mask, and then there's some people who do want to wear a mask. There's like all of this, you see these different people. And what does everybody really want at the end of the day is that people want some kind of autonomy in their life, especially Americans, and they want some kind of a control. You know, they want to have some semblance that they have their hands around what's going on in their life, and that they can actually make a proactive decision towards things. That's why September is going to be so big. But January is going to be really, really big next year as well, because people are thinking more and more about the dissatisfaction they're having in their relationships and their job and their careers and all kinds of stuff, maybe even in the place that they live. And so there was a major transition that happened in July. That's what the theme that you guys should have been talking about during July, because July is already a big transition month for everybody. More people move, change schools, do all of that stuff during the summer months, but July is actually the biggest month. And some of you slept through summer altogether because you thought it wasn't a good time to get clients. It's a perfect time. Transition is really what's happening from about right here to here. So one of the big themes in what you would have to think about during this time is transition. Everybody is going through change. It is a natural part of the year. It is a natural time of the year when people are changing, their kids are changing schools, they might be changing jobs, moving to a different house, a different apartment, or whatever. Most of that is happening during that time. So if this is what's going on there, when do I start talking about this? Well, I've got to talk about it farther back. What did I say? 90-day cycle. You need to be planting seeds along the way, which means that for my January, when am I talking about January? I'm talking about January all the way back here in December. Let's talk about January, and I can even start talking about it in November. New year. People are thinking about change. They're thinking about what they want, all of those things. The seeds being planted here. Think about what happens when you go to Walmart or a grocery store or whatever. What's going to happen? If it's by the time September rolls around, now listen, kids haven't even started back school in most places, but do you know back to school stuff has been out on the aisles for a while, right? What are they doing? Planting seeds. And you actually could have gotten your school supplies 90 days before school started. But what do people do? They wait till the last minute. Most of them will. But what you see are early responders all the way up to the last minute people. But you have to plant the seed ahead of time. And when the deadline comes, that's when people most of the people are going to move during that time. Okay. So what do people do? Like, when are you going to see Valentine's Day stuff? Well, you're going to see Valentine's Day stuff as soon as the Christmas stuff is put away. September, you're going to start seeing, if you haven't already, you're going to start seeing Halloween stuff going, which I don't know exactly what Halloween's going to look like this year, but you're going to start seeing Halloween stuff start breaking out. And before Christmas even gets there, you barely put the Halloween stuff out. It's still on clearance. It's just being marked down. And you're going to start seeing a bunch of Christmas stuff. You'll see a little bit of Thanksgiving stuff. You're going to see a lot of Black Friday stuff. But you're going to see a lot of for Black Friday, businesses will start putting out their sale items and everything weeks before you get to Black Friday so that people can circle things, make a strategy, all of that stuff. So this is what we've got to think about as we're going through the year. And you can also take themes and think about what's happening during certain months. This might be about relationships, or it might be about love. April is easy. What is that always about? New beginnings. It's about spring. There's all of this stuff, and there's all of these things that happen in between that people start paying attention to. School is out, vacation, Independence Day, at least when I'm talking about United States kinds of things, but all the time there is something that we can have a hook on and we can start talking to people about. So what you're going to see is that there's going to be big pieces here that you can strategize about in terms of the seasons, but you're going to find some smaller ones as you're going through there. And what you should be able to see, and you know what you're also going to see? You're going to see that there's going to be certain times where kinds of coaching that you offer is going to be more relevant at different times. The beginning of the year, it can be a lot of different things, but it might look a little bit different in March. What if March is more of a focus on group coaching or something like that? So there's always opportunities around, but you have got to, again, you've got to be the thermostat. You set the temperature for whatever you want. You're going to set the tone for what you want to do in your business. And it can't be dictated by what everybody else is doing. At least from the standpoint of what I'm doing in this is I know what the patterns are with people. I know what's going on, and I know what people are telling me that they need. So from that standpoint, I am definitely listening to the market, and I'm listening to potential clients and everything else, because I want to build my business around what their needs really are, because then it's a no sell. But I am also, as a coach, and guiding people in a process towards change means that I cannot believe the story that everybody else is telling. Like I tell our coaches, your clients will lie to you. They don't think that they're lying, but they have a story. The worst thing that you can do is believe someone's story. I don't have enough time right now. Who's controlling someone's life? Why don't you tell the truth? This is not a priority for you, or that you're just kind of backing out like you always do. Now, I'm not saying that I say that to people, but what we have to do is we have to be comfortable knowing that people being a little bit more like, call people out on stuff. Like, don't fall for people's stories. Oh, well, I don't have clients right now because it's summertime and everybody's just going on vacation. Listen, there are plenty of people who are not going on vacation. That's a fraction of the population. We're going on vacation, and you have more tools than ever to be able to serve clients during that time anyway. And you can transition to whatever topically or however you want to reach people. There's so many creative things that you can do, but you've got to be the driver. You got to take control. Don't be pushed around and buffeted by seasons and change and everything else. The people who understand how this works and are 90 days ahead of anything that could possibly happen, they're always going to be positioned to be able to help the most people, and they're definitely going to have their voice heard. And the people who don't change, that are just kind of buffeted by whatever storm comes, are really going to be just kind of like whatever is left over is what they're going to find. Let me see what anybody else has left to say here. Let's see. Kay from Africa. You guys do me a huge favor and like this post, because I want more interaction on it, so we can make sure that it actually gets in front of people, and we tell Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and all those places that we're doing a good job. Carmen's joining us from Houston. Santos says it's a great day for taking. Awesome. Very cool. What other questions? Do you guys have any questions for me while I'm on here with me? Do me a huge favor again, like this post and share it and get it in front of people. LaShawn's joining us from Georgia. Welcome, LaShawn. Let me pay the bills really quick, and I'm going to look for any questions that you guys have on here for me as I'm on here. Again, if you want to get trained and certified, right now is as good a time as any. It's a great day to finish what you started. So today you can get enrolled. You might even be able to get trained and certified by the end of this week because the program is completely self-paced. You can get enrolled, start your training today, knock out your certification, and get your business really up and going. Now, for those of you who need business development help, that's why we have the Jumpstart program. It's $97 a month. Literally, it's the price of Starbucks. $3.25 a day. We give you a 20-module business development roadmap. We show you the A to Z on how to develop your business. We supplement that with a group call every week. I go live with our students who are part of the program to encourage them, help keep them from getting stuck, and also to just answer any specific questions as they are growing and developing their business. There's an online community where you can get support and feedback, and you can also role play with other students. It's $97 a month with a 3-month minimum commitment. And again, that's Starbucks. It's $3.25 a day. You can build a 6-figure business with just this small investment, and we know how to help you. And so, but I need you to meet us where we're at right now. Brigitte says, Paul, what you're saying is absolute truth. Thank you. Any questions before we head out? And again, do me a huge favor. Like and share this post. Again, it tells YouTube and it tells Facebook we're doing a good job. So if this is helpful, take you 1 second to like hit that button and or shoot us an emoji or whatever. All right. Any final questions before we head out for the day? All right. Well, I am going to assume that is it. Listen, I appreciate you guys all immensely. Have a great rest of your week and take care.